better team is just because of how you can manipulate spawns, how you can manipulate setups. I mean, there's 3 setups on the map that are good. You know, you have that A setup, you have that C setup back silo, and then you have the one over in pipe. So there's so much that you can do on this map as Inept. Start us off with a big few kills, could break off from them, and they're going to want to try and translate over that to the ball, but they still have a couple of kills they need to get, but a big double kill with the nades, and they should be able to grab this ball whenever they have these players spawning out C. They do grab that ball, and they do get it over towards A side, which might not be great, as they've just gifted the ball to First Minion, not exactly having the best communication right there on where they were spawning up, and gifting First Minion the ball and giving them the opportunity to get us started off on this recharge ball.
And Suga's right now starting off this top tower control with a perfect, pushing towards A, knowing the ball is in pit, knowing that his teammates are going to have to set up for him to grab that ball. It's in a dangerous spot. And if we can take this 50-yard line and manipulate these spawns, knowing they're in batteries, we can use our sightlines. We can defend this ball the best we can.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they're going to want to do. And Inept doing a good job at retaking that. You know, they didn't have the best of the start. They kind of had a little bit of a mistake, but able to kind of clean that up a little bit, and a lot more work to do. And Bathula kind of stuck back A, but still staying alive and killing out the ball and doing such good work at stalling, allowing his teammates to get back over there and just over and over again getting the kill, but that's sticky and not able to connect. And that's First Minion breaking themselves right back into A. And trades going out, but they have a little bit of a setup as long as they can clean up these kills back at A. They have a player top gold. They have the cross now, but there's still a couple of players sneaking in, and they're not able to find the kills. Suga's finding the first one. There's still one more player that they need to clean up. A very scrappy start for this recharge oddball.
Very scrappy indeed. And normally when you see teammates who decide to play Slayer at the beginning of an oddball game, you know that they're going to play this ball, you know that they're going to bait you, and so you've got to really pick and choose if you're going to play this ball and make sure you're safe playing it. And right now, JPD protecting this ball with his life, doesn't quite keep the life long enough to really get it out of there and play it, but Suga's on his way to try to rescue that ball. Knowing that First Minion is pushing from Whirlpool, we have the cross map, we just have to have the teamwork.
Yeah, and trying to rotate that ball out, and may not be the best thing as a couple of those kills do go in. I mean, you had a player top glass, and that's not, you know, a position that's easy to cross on. As First Minion are finding the kills. That ball's not off the map. They're going to be allowed to kind of get this one right back to wherever they want, whether that's A or C, with those players spawning up top glass, top gold. And they do decide to bring it back A, and just they're not finding the time right now. That they don't really have to fight this quite yet, and they're just not holding on to the ball for some reason.
Right now, it's just very scrappy. You see back and forth, trade here, trade there. 2 go down, 1 goes down. And, you know, Sugas and JPD right now, they seem like they're very aware of when to play this ball and when to fall back, because it just seems right now we're focused on trying to get this set up, and we're not focused on holding the setup as much, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think Inept are kind of on the better end of making these decisions as that ball is reset. And Inept kind of in the better spot right now. The sight lines for First Minion are there, but they're not able to do too much work, as Persian Papa kind of slips his way through to top attic, top glass, and that's 2 players actually as they get into gold, but that ball is cleanly out towards the A side. Actually, it is Bat Legend just bring it out once again as that camo is up, and the fight for camo will be going in. And a couple of kills, First Minion finding him, and what they do also get is that camo. So ball and camo to work with, as big time opportunity for them to finally really get themselves a lead and establish themselves in this game.
Right now we're tied game, and if First Minion can hold on to this ball, use these camo or this camo to make these plays that we're looking for, Cookie can use this camo to even take out 2 or 3, which allows them to fall back and be more intimidated. But we're not seeing those kills laid down, and Inept right now, Taquito breaking this hold with his teammate, allowing them to get 2 down, allowing them to drop this ball, and we'll see them pick this ball up and tie this game up again.
Yeah, and they're finding the kills, right? They just continuing to do it. Inept not letting themselves get out of the game, and not letting First Minion really have you know, a good grasp of not just the ball, but really this entire side of the map. Inept have done a really good job at kind of holding on to this ace side, and that's resulted in a really a good job from them to be able to stay in this game. But they don't have a lead, and they don't have the kills to necessarily back it up right now as they're spawning out towards the C side, and the trades at the moment are probably going to be benefiting First Minion as they're continuing to find these kills, as there's only one more player to clean up right here. And as you can notice, is that big blinking red light, as you just saw on the bottom. The time now is going to start playing a factor in what's going to be going on, as Inept are now in a deficit at the moment as that lead continues to grow for First Minion. But First Minion, whenever they want to, are going to be more than glad to just let that game clock go, as the time really at the moment is on their side.
That's how you see a lot of oddball games go. You get that lead, and then most teams, if you have that time and you don't have the time for the team to make another push to get the ball from you, you play the time, you slay out, you get those kills. And this team seems to be very, very good when it comes to the team slays and the teamwork. And right now, Persian's just trying to break this hold. He's kind of the last one in this area by himself, and Sound has the camo. Can he use this camo to push in and set the damage for his team to come up and clean after him?
Yeah, and there's only 38 seconds left on that clock as Inept have taken a lead, and they're going to have to just drop the ball, play some fights. I'm kind of a fan of this, but this camo play is going to be big as they find one kill. It's instantly traded. That ball has got to go out, and it doesn't. They don't get the ball played, and now JPD, who would have been in a prime position to keep these players from really doing anything, not able to do anything about it as a couple of kills go in. Players from Inept sneaking their way in towards A, as this game is just going to go down to the wires. There's 30 seconds left, and First Minion have retaken the lead, but Inept find their way to flood inside of A as they find the kill and the ball, looking to retake the lead once again. But First Minion finding their way into A as the ball is still inside of this top A position, as neither team is able to get it out and fight, as there's only 20 seconds left on the game clock, as Mbathula finding his way in, missing the melee. JPD here for the support, but it's now a 3v1 over here as he finds the first, the sticky not able to connect, but Inept have found their way in, and so much back and forth action. There's only 5 seconds left on the clock, and he finds the kill, but gets instantly traded as that clock is going to run out. What a round.
I really thought that round was going to go in favor of Inept, but First Minion, they locked in. You know, somewhere the comms said, guys, we have to play together. We have to push together. And you saw that teammate push back A. For a second there, they weren't even noticed. And so going into the second round of Oddball, knowing that Inept is going to choose to try to get a lead, play that time, I'm interested to see how these guys play this round.
Yeah, and they had a very good break off last time, but they weren't able to really do too much with it. Is definitely on recharge oddball. It's not necessarily like streets or even live fire, where you kind of need 2 waves of kills instead of 1 to really establish yourself some time. You know, you may be able to get, you know, the ball out towards gold if that's where your break off kind of leads to, but you need a couple of kills. We're kind of seeing that, you know. First Minion got that first wave of kills, and they needed to get a couple more kills to be able to make it happen as they do get that ball out. But Inept finding a couple more kills, and that's the second time. It's kind of, you know, roles reversed right here. I believe it was. They brought that ball towards A and gave it to the other team, as now First Minion have this opening little bit of time to work with, but Inept very quick to react off of that. They're finding their way right over towards A and kind of collapsing a little bit, but First Minion still have that position that they need as they get that ball out towards that gold side of the map as well.
Suga's here kind of pushing through Whirlpool by himself, but he's putting out really good damage, and we're seeing Suga's fall back, trying not to just fall to his death. And with the time we have on the ball, 18-0, it's still a significant lead, but we still have those pushes coming in from Inept, and we know that they're strong players, so we could see this game tie up or even then put a lead on this ball. Inept has the form, knows how to set up, and they just seem to be struggling with holding it. This game of Oddball is very back and forth and very scrappy.
Yeah, it's scrappy for sure, but I think that's just because of the way that Inept is playing, just because they're doing a really good job at breaking, like you said, and really getting into a setup, but they just haven't been able to hold it. And this is kind of a big opportunity for them to really have their chance to finally make it happen, but we see that, you know, they're struggling to hold it, and the kills coming through, a good little rotation for them, but not able to get out completely with their lives. And you know, they have the slays, but you know, I mean, going back to it, they just can't hold it.
Stats doesn't mean everything. I mean, when it comes to a game like Oddball, it's such an objective-based game that the teamwork makes the dream work here. And if you're not pushing with your team, if you're not grabbing the ball and dropping the ball to fight when your team needs you, you're just going to continuously lose this ball, regain the ball, lose the ball again. And as we see here, Cookie dropped that ball for his teammate in order to try to fight for his life, keep the enemy suppressed and kind of back out of this hold here. And Pipes is kind of a stressful hold for me. It's such a nade magnet.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do want to kind of go back to it as well. You know, this isn't Slayer, it is an objective game mode, and you know, it's not necessarily, as you said, the number of kills that you get, but it's more so the timing and the impact. You know, you can kind of survive it more so with kind of going even on kills, or even kind of losing them when, you know, we talked about it in the pregame with Recharge. You can really manipulate these spawns here, and if you're manipulating the team to spawn out completely, you can get one wave of kills, and they kind of have to get 2 waves of kills to not even just get in there to make you play the ball, but even get the ball themselves. So you got to get so many kills to really get into the ball, and if you're playing it correctly, and Inept have done a decent job with that so far, but First Minion have been the ones really on top for most of this game so far.
And right now we see Cookie trying to get that flank, a very good play on his part, just couldn't quite make those bullets hit. And now Persian sitting here in long haul, kind of aware where his teammates are spawning, going in for that kind of flanky distraction play here, not seeing the person to his left, although lucky for him, they are 1 shot, 1 HP in a dream. Imbathula, I'm sorry, doesn't quite get that. Persian does end up taking him down, and we now have the ball free again, but we are by ourselves. Persian is being that nuisance player, putting out that damage, allowing his teammates to come back behind him and clean up.
Yeah, that take every day of the week, isn't it?
Absolutely.
You know, you have all your teammates over there, and the ball not ending up getting played. So First Minions still have that control, which they do need, as they found themselves in a 30-second hole. And there is still a lot of game time left. I mean, that's a little bit different of a story than we had from our last map. And First Minion just out of nowhere gave it right on up. And as Inept is really kind of going through this round, I'm sure once again they're going to be okay with fighting this. As you said, you know, you get the lead, be okay with playing the game clock, and they're doing just that, finding the kills as that game clock starting to go down, getting close to about 2 minutes, and a 30-second lead. That's a pretty good position to be in at the moment.
I just don't know how I feel about playing time right now. There's 2 whole minutes on the clock. I would understand playing time if it was like maybe 1 whole minute or 45 seconds, but 2 minutes is just the perfect amount of time for you to take someone down like Sugas or Imbathula and the Slayers on the team of Inept and get that ball time, which is going to bring this game closer than it should be.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And I mean, you know, you don't want to play time. You just have to be okay with it ticking down. Make sure that, you know, you're ensuring that you find those kills, not necessarily just not hold the ball at all, but, you know, hold the ball, and anytime there's any form of pressure, maybe drop it and don't be afraid to fight it. Be okay with that ball being down and finding the kills. Just don't play around it that way. And that's kind of a decision that may come back to bite them, really, as this lead trimmed down, and there's still so much time left to work with for them, as only really a 10-second lead as it continues to go down. They are potentially going to find the kills here, but no!
Oh my God.
Oh no!
It's a boat full of missed melees and missed dreams here, and Sugas tried so hard to achieve what he was trying to achieve, and right now JPD on that killing spree, picking up the ball. Not only is he a Slayer, but he's also got plenty of objective time on this scoreboard, and Taquito Joe just playing the support round down here, knowing we have this lead now. We're not going to play the time. We're going to try to get as much ball time as we can and get this game up, and right now you see First Minion just trying, pushing, trying to get that fumble, but it doesn't seem to really go in their favor, except for right now. Right now, this ball has swapped hands, and you see Taquito Joe just trying to be that nuisance with this grapple hook, trying to stay alive, waiting for those teammates to spawn in. This game is back and forth.
Yeah, another little missed melee right there, but he does have that support from Sugas, who finds the couple of kills. And even though First Minion are spawning close, those nades are going to have to do the damage, and they're putting all these players one shot as they find the kills. JPD right behind him finds the kill. The ball was not played, and that should end the round. Inept tying us up at 1, but no, not quite yet. And now quite yet. There it is. Inept picking up their round, the big round 2, sending us to a 3rd round for the 2nd consecutive game, and a lot better from Inept right there.
Exactly. I mean, you saw both teams take notes the first round, realize that both of these teams play a certain way, and you saw them completely switch it up. And so this round is going to be the money round. They know what's at stake here, and they're going to fist fight for it.
Yeah, and the break-off, once again, it feels like whoever really spawns on that side is going to end up taking it as first minion. Get it this time, and they start to bring it over to their spawn a little bit, but not directly this time. So they're not gifting Inept the time this time. That's the first round that we've actually had this happen this entire game so far. So that's a good start for first minion, a little bit of a good place to be, but they don't hold on to the ball. They're finding the kills, which is a little odd, but the ball just escaping them at the moment, but shouldn't be too long until they get the ball right on back, and still finding some kills, still finding the time, and first minion a much better start than we've seen.
Absolutely. And Persian here with one of my favorite weapons in the game, the shock rifle. I love it when the game tells me I'm perfect for using it. And so Persian just applying this pressure, a perfect nade from his part, taking down JD and gold pipes and just trying to suss out where everybody is, just being that lookout for his team. The ball still has plenty of time for them. So they're just trying to keep Inept away.
Yeah, the shock rifle is in his hands, so that's kind of a big place to be, and we've seen how powerful it can be. A nice little headshot right there, and in a very good position to watch this cross as well, but one player does end up sneaking behind him over in C and brings the shock rifle right back into the hands of Inept, and that's a powerful position really for it to be. But the team of Inept starting to work their way inside of gold, finding a couple of kills, and that's such a big pinch for them to really work with right here as they're finding even more slays to kind of make this more of a position where they can start to get themselves right back into the game as they're doing just that. They're really trimming the lead down. An early lead, not a big one at that, but first minion finding a couple of kills, but JPD, who has been an absolute heater, 36 kills in this oddball game, but first minion, while all those kills were going through, find themselves that active camo, and off the back of that, finding a couple of kills, but Inept doing great at minimizing the damage that active camo can provide.
Absolutely. And, you know, right now we're seeing First Minion just try to take this map and have complete control over it. And right now you see Cookies just with the grapple in hand. I feel like First Minion always has a grapple in their hand. And on a map like Recharge, the grapple is such a powerful utility. And you see now we're trying to get this ball out of Inept's hand. Taquito Joe and JPD, one of the main slayers on their team, does get taken down, which opens up a little bit of easy ball time if they can take the rest of the team down. But I don't know. It just they're powerful here.
Yeah, and you see the spawns coming in really close from Inept, but they're still going to be able to find these kills. I thought that was a little bit of a scary situation. And regaining top A is a great position to be. First Minion kind of flipped that on its head, and there was one player towards long haul that was able to sneak on over there, but able to get rid of the ball out of the hands of First Minion, but not able to turn that themselves. And they have to get some work done. They've been able to find kills and really keep First Minion from building up a big lead, but they haven't been able to turn that into their own time themselves. And that's something that they're going to need to be able to do as they finally get some sense of control of the ball and the map. But First Minion still doing a good job at applying that pressure.
Absolutely. And Cookies again in this tight area, just nading and putting down the damage, and it's just not enough right now. First Minion has kind of woke up all of a sudden. This game of oddball is definitely a warm-up game for them, and right now Sound of Silence is 26-16-32. But not only that, they have a lot of objective time, and one thing I like seeing from both of these teams right now is we're rotating objective players. We're not seeing just one main slayer, one objective player. We're seeing this team kind of rotate out players, which all around practices out every player and creates a really rounded team.
Yeah, and definitely you kind of need that, and The camo not
Ooh.
doing anything for Inept, and that's something that could really, really come back to sting later on. They're still finding the kills, not letting this game really out of their grasp, out of their sights per se, but I mean, they have to turn something around right here if they're going to really get it. They had a little bit of momentum right there, but stolen, and as they find a couple of kills here, it feels like the opportunity is now. They have the ball now. All of their players kind of stacked up. No real map control at the moment for First Minion. Kind of in the same boat as they're seeming to start to flood over here as well. And you do see Cookie Middles starting to work on the wrap, getting over towards Gold side as Sound of Silence working that out as well, as they are just finding the kills. And Inept, not the best positioning to really work the time right there as First Minion start to get themselves right back into control of this game.
And one thing about this game is, first we saw them hold the ball in A, and then the second round they held the ball in A, and this round we're seeing a lot more rotating and trying to keep this ball away from each other. And right now JPD playing ring around the rosy, pocket full of, I mean, bullets for the ball carrier, obviously. And so 42 kills, ball time on the board. JPD is just a really great team player, and right now head-to-head does get taken down, and we see 2 go down for Inept. First Minion is out for blood and wants this ball time.
Yeah, but that camo is up, and that's something that could really be big, because it makes Inept have to make a decision. Do you want to go for camo, or do you want to go for ball, or do we want to split off and see what we can do? And it looks like they're going to split off, and that gamble is going to pay off for them. It looks like they've gotten both. There's just the ball player right here, as the ball does end up getting played with a little bit of a lead, and they're just gonna run after it. Suga's not the best decision he's made this entire game, but oh, it is First Minion actually that has the camo. They were able to come away with it, and that's a big thing here. They only need 16 seconds to close out this game, and Inept, it's do or die right now. They need to find some kills, get themselves back in control of this ball, but that's not gonna happen. First Minion, off the back of that camo play, are able to find some kills, but Inept, they do get that ball, but that's not the position you necessarily want to be. First Minion overrunning really where that ball is, and Mbathula gonna try and do the damage right there, but not able to do all too much. As Taquito Joe, a big 2-piece to keep his team in the game, doing more damage, but Bad Jinjo able to find it, but that does just enough for Inept to force that ball to be played, as there's only 40 seconds left, but Inept finds some more kills as they're able to get that ball out right here. That nade not able to connect, as Inept have gotten the ball into pipes with only 8 seconds left to get this ball right back into the lead. They're not able to get into the lead, but Inept still finding kills as they're about to take the lead. Inept find it. There's only 30 seconds left to go. And Grace, this game, we thought it might be over, but it's not. The ball's played down mid as there's only 30 seconds. First Minion have found themselves in control of it, as another big play. JPD left all on his own, finds the couple of kills. His team has to get over their nades going out, and it's all down to Mbathula to see if he can find a way to keep it down. Makes the ball get played as there's only 2 seconds left. A big 1v1 JPD. The game is in his hands. Mbathula finds the kill, cleans it up as there's 10 seconds left. Only 5 remaining to get it done, and it's not able to go through. The 2 seconds left, and First Minion close out the game.
I mean, we're getting right into it, and I like the plays we're seeing. We're not all rushing towards Rocket Hall, but I mean, look at look at First Minion. I mean, we're already 2 down, and right now Inept is just trying to play for this map control, but it doesn't seem like Rockets go in their favor this time, and now it's just a fight for who gets overshield and who can push to each side of the map. And right now Mbathula seems to have that overshield. We do take JP down with that sniper, which is a pivotal weapon on this map. If you can get a hold of this sniper, especially with 11 sniper rounds in it, you're going to dominate this map.
Yeah, and a nice little shot right there, able to put JPD down to 1 shot. And you couldn't ask for a better start from a player with Cookie, who picking up right where he had left off on that first map as the no-scope hits, not able to find the second, but his teammate does clean it up. What a start for him. 4 kills, 3 assists. Every single kill that they've had has had Cookie Middles in the middle of it. And that's just a great start for a player who just had such a hot map 1. And in a series like this that's so closely contested, sometimes it really is just determined off of, you know, the difference maker, the X factor. One of these teams having a player step up like this is such a big thing. And another sniper connecting, starting off the game with a killing spree, and on top of that, 4 assists. It's First Minion looking to push their way up the map early and get Inept into that early hole that you do not want to find yourself in.
Absolutely not. And I mean, Cookie should change his name to Cookie Medals, because he's meddling in everybody's kills. He's got such a clean stat line right now that he's the player that Inept should look out for. He's the player that Inept needs to take down, because he's opening those lines for his teammate to collapse on them.
Yeah, and then the Cylon's just going crazy at the moment as Cookie finds another one. Make
gosh.
that 2. He can't be stopped. Still has yet to die, and maybe this will be the moment. It is not able to take Mbathula down with him, but a crazy start is Inept finding a couple of kills and getting themselves out just at the right time as his Overshield and rockets are starting to come up. And this is a big 1v1 over on this green side as Sugas gonna have to try and grab these rockets if Inept really wants to get themselves back into the game. But First Minion able to find it. That's Cookie Middles again, coming away with the rockets, looking to do even more damage than he's been able to do so far as he finds another kill with the rockets. Make that 2 right here. He finds the assist as he gets taken down by Taquito Joe, but his team has pushed themselves in a very healthy way to the other side of the map as they're about to steal both snipes right here as the no-scope does connect for Persian Papa. A little bit of team damage coming in, but Taquito Joe does end up getting taken down. Not another no-scope getting hit as Inept. Just an early hole that you don't want to be in, especially on Empyrean Slayer. But the good thing about this map is that you're never really out of it with the way that the setups can work.
Absolutely. And I mean, Cookie right now, you can tell he's comfortable on this map. You can tell he's, I mean, you can tell in a well-rounded Halo player that's played this map and many times before, and just the way he glides across this map and you see him get taken down, that's a player that they're going to look out for. And Sugars right now, he might be 1-0-8, but I mean, last game he was putting out the damage. We're just seeing him wake up, and I mean, with a player like Cookie on the map, can you blame the score? I mean, he's just putting out the damage. His teammates are cleaning up after him, and right now we're seeing the training hold, and we're just not able to hold it. And Cookie again with another sniper in his hand takes down JP here in our sword, but he doesn't quite last long enough. And Persian here in the pit, kind of alone, waiting for those respawners, waiting for his backup, picking up that AR/BR. I know someone like Why Not Be Casting loves to hang out with this AR/BR combination. You use the AR to get the shield shredded and then use that precision BR to finish that kill with the headshot.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to go back to Cookie Middles as well. Visualizing the map so well, it feels like at every moment, you know, when he's able to push, he does it at just the right time. And First Minion have done a very good job at, you know, playing around your star player, and that's what you got to do. He's opening up the entirety of the map, and they're doing really well at playing around that as we do see another big moment right here for Inept. The rockets and overshield coming up as they have the control of this overshield side, and a big snipe coming out. That's what you need, and I believe that should allow them to grab rockets over here as this heat wave coming in. JPD trying to wake up over here, and First Minion, they do get this overshield to work with, but I believe that does have rockets as First Minion still causing problems really in the base of Inept. The Sugas does have those rockets and able to collect a kill, but this lead is still 10 for First Minion.
And these rockets here, there's a common denominator. The first rocket seems to always miss, and then the second rocket seems to get that last kill for them. And Sugar's right now playing these rockets really smart, just trying to suss out where the enemy is. And he does end up taking down Bad Jinjo. And seeing that JPD is in the tower fighting someone, just trying to play his life, we're going to be able to collapse on this enemy. And I mean, JPD doesn't seem to stay alive, but Sugar's now just sitting here playing these sidelines, trying to look where the enemy is coming from. He's putting out the damage. He's getting some really, really good plays on his part. With Sniper up, we see JPD go for this Sniper, sitting here on these frag nades. It's a really good spot, and you know, sometimes you wish you could hear those footsteps the same way. And you see him take down Cookie Middles, which is 17, 8, and 6 right now. That's an important player to take down.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. You're seeing Sugars really start to step it up. 1 and 8, and then in the blink of an eye, 6 and 10. They're getting themselves right back into the game. The lead is a 9 now, and we've just seen how powerful, you know, how big these power-ups can be, that overshield and those rockets, even the Sniper in the right hands. But they're going to have to do a little bit better than this. First Minion has been able to trade out these kills pretty decently right here and just maintaining their lead. They're not building upon it, but they're maintaining it. And with a lead like this, that's all you could really ask for, is they're only 10 kills away from closing out this game and putting themselves in 2-0 lead.
And I mean, that's been the popular thing this game. They've had such a lead this entire game. It's been 8, 9, 11 this whole time. And so we're seeing, oh my gosh, a disgusting no scope and a killing spree come from Cookie Middles, and they do end up getting taken down by Taquito Joe. But I mean, 22, 8, and 7 is just securing this really, really strong lead that we're seeing from First Minion, and it's just impossible to break. And we're seeing them apply the pressure and then fall back. I love the change of pace you see from this team.
Dude, 23 kills with rockets now. Finds another kill on 24 with one more with these rockets. He put himself in a position to have at least half of his team's kills as a nade coming in. That's a lot of damage on that overshield being done, and that should essentially burn it as he does. And that player is one a bullet and gets the assist right there. 24, 9, and 7, not able to make it 25, but he puts 2 players down to that 1 health, and as they only need 2 more kills, First Minion looking to put themselves, poised to put themselves 2-0 up in this series.
Absolutely. And I have a question. I'm not sure if you know the answer, but is Cookie's mouse and keyboard? Because I mean,
Yeah,
watching him play,
absolutely,
watching him play with this Sniper, I mean, the swish and flick coming from this guy is dangerous. And I mean, sitting here in training, it just seems he has this map awareness, and not just the map awareness, but you know his teammates are calling out, and he's getting this, oh my gosh, he's putting down damage, does get taken down, and we see Persian here just trying to play his life and throwing down that drop shield. And we're playing this training really well, pushing that pressure, but not allowing us to get trapped on their side of the map. And we see this game go in favor of First Minion, a wonderful and strong
on one person to just go crazy and win. And that's not necessarily what First Minion did, because they were very good at playing off of, you know, Cookie Middles, but at the end of the day, they have to find, you know, the entire team stepping up. That's the main thing that they need to do, as they're starting off quite strong with that. The damage going in, as look at them just playing together, finding the kills and staying alive. Any of those players that did end up going down to 1 bullet were able to escape with their lives, as First Minion doing a good job at really just controlling the map at the beginning, as Persian Papa pulling the flag quite early as the first death is going to be found from them. Make that 2, and Inept. A quick pull on the side of First Minion, but a quick return right on back from Inept.
And when it comes to Aquarius, in my opinion, if you go for a flag cap really, really early in this game and you end up getting 3-0, 3-1 so early in the game, this game can snowball from you. It gives the other team a lot of time to get those recaps and tie this game up. And so we're seeing a lot of slays happen here. And right now, Cookie Middles in the middle of the map, up top with the Hail Mary and the Guardian Angel. Give this man a pair of wings already. He takes down Taquito Joe, and he's just watching over this flag, securing this pull for his teammate. And right now, this flag pull seems like butter on toast.
Yeah, and greatly timed, but bringing it to the wrong direction of the map, you gotta know those fridge spawns are gonna come in. And able to get another touch on the flag as another player actually does spawn fridge. That is the one thing when you do pull this flag P side, for some reason, both teams just start spawning Fridge, and it just becomes all-out warfare for that flag, but it is going to reach the base of First Minion. That should be our first cap of this game so far. And going back to your point, it just, Aqua is kind of the only map left in the rotation. Kind of this entire game's life cycle for the most part is you can't really relay on any other maps. You weren't really able to do that on Bazaar. You can't really do it on Pit, and you can't really do it on Argyle. The maps are too big, too long. On Aqua, you can really get 2 flag caps within 30 seconds very quickly if you play it right in. With this camo, Taquito Joe gonna look to be able to make a play, but First Minion all boxed into their base, and they're gonna try and get these slays right here as they do just that. Mbathula able to get the flag out as there's one player, P2, looking to stop this flag going in, and the kill does go in, and Mbathula able to get this flag right on out through this C side, this car side, and that flag should be poised to go right on into their base. And some team shots gonna have to go through as that player is weak, but Inept bring one right on back, and this is a quickly 1-to-1 game.
And I mean, you saw 4 go down for Inept, so that literally opens up a wide open lane for them to get this flag halfway across the map and then deal with the next wave of spawners. And when you can achieve a map pull or a flag pull like that and get across this map, you're set. But it seems like we had that spawn straggler able to cross map and get that counter pull, and now we're seeing another fight, head-on collision for these flags. Who's going to get this return?
Yeah, and I don't think anyone's really going to be able to. Well, I mean, Inept is finding kills right now, and they continue to reset that flag, and that flag is actually going to be returned. First Minion end up getting it. The team shots, not enough. First Minion re-establish their lead 2-1 with 8 minutes to go. And Aquarius, especially compared to other maps, I mean, you don't really see on Pit or Argyle flags really getting up to 5 to really end that game. But on Aquarius, with how many caps really can go through and how fast you can relay flags, counter cap, the amount of time you can really do it, just the way that necessarily the spawns work and how quickly you can bring that map or flag across the map, it's able to really get some high scoring games. You don't really see, you know, a game finish off 1-0 or 2-1 or anything like that, as the shock nades do go through, and that's a big play to get rid of that camo from Mbathula. And Inept have had that camo 2 times now and not able to convert on either of the opportunities they were given.
I mean, camo fails or not, we're still, we're still seeing the slays happen. We're still seeing, really good teamwork. But I mean, on the side of First Minion, we have the awareness and we have the teamwork, and we're playing this map super, super fast. And right now, Sound of Silence just playing his life here, yellow base, knowing that their flag is out. But do we choose to set up and try to bait this flag knowing that it's out? And right now we're seeing Sound of Silence put down damage, 13-6, and I mean, he's hungry with a double kill, trying to get this flag back to base. He wants this game. He wants this win.
Yeah, and 15-6 now, and we talked about it, Cookie Middle is probably, wouldn't pop off the way he just did on that last map. You need someone else to step up, or maybe just the rest of the team, and they're having just that with Sound Out Silence. I mean, that's such a luxury to have, isn't it? Players just multiple players really be able to have this pop-off ability, and 15 kills this early in a game and not really having any intention of slowing down is just such a luxury to have. And Inept have been on the back foot basically this entire game. None of these players except Taquito Joe, all negative. So the slays not necessarily going their way, but I mean, they've been able to keep themselves in this game. It's only a 1 flag game, and I mean, we say it all the time on CTF. It's not necessarily like oddball where you need to continuously get slays. You only really need 1 wave of kills, maybe 2, to be able to just get yourself a point. And that's a big, ability to have, especially on a map like Aqua, where you can really just get yourself right back into the game. And we saw it earlier on a CTF, a team getting absolutely dominated, but having one kind of moment of brilliance and get themselves into a tie game until, right at the end. And it feels like this game is kind of in a similar position, I would say, as JPD bringing that flag right on over. And they do have that camo again, and Mbathula actually distracting these players and able to find the kills. Sugas finds that one player and still kills going their way. Inept look like they are poised to cap another flag, and they do, tying us up at 2-2. Much higher scoring than really any other map that we've seen, and I'm happy to see it. I'm all here for it.
I mean, yeah, I'm here for it too. And Imbathula here, you like just playing this P2 here, trying to stay alive, but he does get that shock or that sticky nade on him. JPD now 11, 1 and 11. I mean, make a wish right now. Does get taken down, and Taquito Joe last alive here on this side of the map, knowing that his teammates are across the map, just trying to hide. This game is tied now, and there's 4 minutes on the clock, and we're going to see this game change pace. We're going to see a lot more head-on collisions. We're going to see a lot more pushes from both teams, and it's all about who can lay down those shots and who can work together. And JPD, again, Inept just seems to be finding one player as a straggler all alone, and we're just not able to really push for these flags. But now we see them spawning back in with one straggler from First Minion trying to make a distraction, get that flag pull. But I mean, we're kind of at a standstill. We're trying to either regroup and figure out what plays to make, but I mean, right now it's no telling who's going to get the next flag. These flag pulls have been so smooth.
Yeah, and I do have to ask, as we're kind of in a little bit of a standstill moment, if you're Inept, you know, you are down 2-0 in the series, and, you know, getting outslayed by a little bit, not as much anymore. What do you have to do if you're them to really get yourselves a leg up in this game? Because they've had their moments, you know, and when they do have them, they're able to capitalize on it. But how can you make that more consistent to be able to run away with this game?
I mean, we see on First Minion you have 19-17 on Sound of Silence and Cookie. I mean, and on Inept, we have 3 players in the double digits. So if we could just play together and maybe open up comms a little more and talk to each other and tell each other where we need each other, we might see a little bit more smooth plays come from their part.
Yeah, and they do have another flagpole, bringing it all the way out. The shock nades, though, not able to connect, as I believe that is going to be the flag return. And a counter cap coming in for First Minion. Cookie Middles running it all the way back, getting a couple shots in the back, but should be able to cleanly bring that flag in, but gets taken down, and looks like Inept gonna have to try and get themselves a counter cap opportunity, but that's cleaned up by First Minion as they have reestablished their lead in this capture the flag as they're looking to close out this series.
I mean, First Minion is trying to sweep and mop this map. I mean, you can tell that this map is a map they're comfortable on. It's a map a lot of players find themselves comfortable on or just dislike. So with it being such a long time map in this game, we see a lot of really strong plays come from both sides of the teams. And right now, Suga's running this flag from top mid all the way to blue court, and I mean, it just seems like it was open for him, but that heat wave chews him up, spits him out, and Cookie's right now kind of by himself trying to apply that pressure, trying to keep that flag away with a double kill that was super pivotal. And I mean, right now, if I was him, I'd try to go for a flag pull, not try to re.
Yeah, and definitely, you're 100% right, going for the re, and the reset comes in, and that's 2 players going down, trades going through. Persian Papa, a big win right there, but that flag going right on in and able to find the kill. It looks like the aim assist may have been shifted off of the right player, and the flag goes 3-3, but the action, ladies and gentlemen, is not over. It's a big counter cap opportunity for First Minion as they are putting in the damage, but JPD, a big kill, and Persian Papa left on his own as JPD finds 2, and Bathula finds one of his own from the grave, and that is a little bit of stabilization that Inept need as they have tied the game up, and looking to do more than that as they've pulled the flag themselves again, looking to rally it out as Taquito Joe bringing it out, should be found out right here, but no, they don't find him. He's brought it to the other side. It looks like he might be able to put this right in as the kills are going through for First Minion, but Inept capture the flag, give themselves a lead with only a minute left, and First Minion find all the kills themselves as they're going to try and counter cap again. Inept find a couple of kills. Suga's going big, and what a way. It looks like it's going to be an absolute nail-biter to the end.
50 seconds left on this clock. The flag is still out. If we can get that touch, we can possibly, I mean, if we can get that touch on this flag, on their flag, we could see this game go into a little bit of overtime. But 30 seconds on the clock is just not enough for First Minion to really push. So they've got to play together. They've got to get at least a touch on this flag to give them some extra time. But the kills are just coming through, and we're seeing them go down. And Bad Jinjo did get that pull in the flag, but Sugar's right now last one alive, laying down that damage. We saw Inept get the trades where we need to, and we're still getting the touch on the flag, but it does get taken down, and Sugar's just fighting for this flag's life right now.
Yeah, and only 8 seconds left. That flag is now dropped out. They're just going to try and sit on the re, and a couple of kills go their way. Not able to find one. Sound of Silence left all by himself as the names are going to go through. Overtime ticker going through. Cookie finds one and kills, still being traded out. This game, ladies and gentlemen, not quite over yet, but it looks like, as I say that, it is Inept find a win, a map win, one that they've needed because, you know, you spawn on Seaside and
I mean, we're loading into a game of live fire instead of the streets, so I mean, they said streets is for the streets, so I mean, I guess we're gonna go with it. And we see 3 go down for First Minion, and I mean, right now we're just playing a game of Slayer, and Inept seems to have the lead.
Yeah, they do. A good little break off for them, but Cookie Middles finding 1 kill right back, and now having that shroud screen as well, but unfortunately not the overshield. Finding the shroud screen, which, I mean, in the right time at the right point, it allows you to get that overshield if you have that control of that Seaside. But kills going Inept's way, giving themselves a little bit of a lead.
A little bit of a lead, right? And Inept right now just 2 points ahead is not or I'm sorry, 4 points ahead is just not enough to be comfortable. I mean, we're still very early in this game, and you know deep down in Sugar's mind, he's looking out for players like Sound of Silence and Cookie Middles, who could possibly have that sniper, who could possibly have the heat wave, and are definitely coming straight for them. And we see Sugar's bottom tower and Mbathula with this sniper rifle in hand, and I mean, he knows it. It's season 7 week 4, S7 week 4. We're here for it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, we're here for it. We are for sure here for it. And Cookie Middles putting himself up to 4 and 3, finding the kills and dying a lot. And Sugar's kind of on the opposite of that, having 4 kills as well for himself, but staying alive. And I think he just shot the nade.
He absolutely sniped the grenade. I mean, what a play. That's impressive. I mean, big brain moves.
Couldn't ask for a better shot, and a nice snipe going in. Seemingly can't even miss. I mean, did you have any doubt after absolutely sniping a nade out of the sky, and the sniper being a big factor in this overshield grab as he's able to pull it off, and a bunch of crossfires coming in as a player spawn A. Not able to pop it, but Taquito Joe does end up grabbing it. Not the worst thing ever. Could have went really south very quickly in this overshield, not seeming to do all too much damage, getting burned out nearly entirely, but the rest of the team able to react off of that, as these players are so focused on this overshield player that the rest of the players on Inept able to find the rest of the kills and apply that pressure that First Minion really wasn't prepared for.
I mean, we're seeing an 18-11 lead, a very comfortable 7-point lead for them, and we know that Inept, you know, they have the slaves, and I feel like the last game was just them waking up. So Inept is here to play. Inept is here to win. And as Taquito Joe gets taken down, we still have that 19-13. We get the trades. We get the slay. So we're still continuing that lead. And Bad Jinjo here pushing this house window, trying to take down Sugas. I'm not sure if he knows JPD is to his right, but he's got that teammate with him who can help him clean him up. And we're seeing right now the Inept is coming behind them. They're pushing that turbine and scoreboard, and I mean, can you believe it? It's Cookie Middles. Cookie Middles pushing our scoreboard in a 1v1 with Taquito Joe. Does end up winning that 1v1, but goes down shortly after. And Persia Papa here, again, top tower, just trying to suss out where this enemy is. Knowing Overshield is up in 20 seconds, top tower is a very good place to be.
Yeah, but what they don't have is the sniper to work with to be able to really ensure that that overshield cannot be picked up. And Inept, even though they have the rougher side for this, they have the overshield really going in, but a couple of kills going First Minion's way as they've kind of starting to flip this a little bit, push out some more, but Sugas ends up sacrificing his shields for that kill as he ends up going down, bringing the overshield out a little bit as Taquito Joe should be able to pop it again. JPD finding another kill, looking for a second as that player is one shot, able to find it, but not able to come away with it cleanly. But Inept in a 7-kill lead with that overshield to work with as well.
I mean, going back to that overshield play, Cookie Middles only was able to get that player who had overshield ready to pop it down because he just so happened to be on the box at Sandbags. What is the coincidence there? What a place to be at that moment. But I mean, Taquito Joe does have this overshield, and we didn't see it really go to waste as much as we saw last time. So being able to utilize this overshield has taken their 7-point lead to an even greater lead. So we're seeing this team really start to wake up and utilize what is on the map.
Yeah, I've been playing their teamwork, right? And this is kind of one of the first maps that First Minion hasn't had somebody really going crazy in the kills department, and it's been a little more even, which, yeah, it's good on paper. You kind of want that, you know? You'd want all your teams to be, you know, all your teammates to be firing on all cylinders. But at the end of the day, it's not really helping them out all too much as they found themselves in a 5-point hole. So I mean, you want, I guess, one player to really step it up and go crazy as they're kind of slowing the game right now. They're slowing it down a little bit as they're all over on that C tower side. But Inept kind of the ones with the advantage right now with the kills and at this point, the time to work with, because if you're them, you really do not need to push into this setup that First Minion have really established for themselves.
I mean, and you definitely don't want to push into a setup at C hold, even when you have a player like Sugas who has definitely woke up and is 11-4 this game. So we're seeing a top fragger, and you see him pushing the tunnel now, trying to possibly get a flank on this overshield, but he doesn't quite check his corners, and that could have been a problem. Someone there at C plat, but he does end up kind of getting a trade here at cuts, and I mean, we're still fighting over this overshield, it feels like. I didn't quite see who grabbed it.
Yeah, I think Inept would be the ones in the position to do just that, as the sniper is also in their hand as well. It is Taquito Joe with it. He finds so many players. Smart, very smart to get out, and finds another kill as well. Not able to connect on the melee, but with that situation, I'd say that's coming out pretty good, as Membathula finding another kill, and Inept getting that overshield once again. I'm not even sure First Minion has even gotten an overshield in this game.
I don't think an overshield has gone in the favor of First Minion this entire game, and even though the first overshield of the game was kind of wasted, we're seeing Inept take this game and keep it at an almost 10-point lead the entire time. It's such strong plays, and we're really seeing players like Sugas and JPD and Bathil and Taquito really start to wake up this game, and we're seeing these teammates kind of wolf pack it in a sense. You're seeing one player flank and the other three are laying down that damage and allowing someone else to mop and sweep right after them, and Sugar's with the heat wave in hand. And I love the nerf on the heat wave rounds. We don't see one player with 2 full clips of heat wave ammunition running around shredding shields, so you've really got to utilize the heat wave the way you need to.
You got to be a little bit smarter with it, right? Especially with those, you know, ammo nerfs that they had, and only needing 5 more kills to send us to a map 5. 8-point lead at the moment, and it just feels like they've always been in control of this game. But this is going to be a big overshield coming up. 10 seconds left, and that don't even necessarily have to play for it that fast. They really just have to bait it, as First Minion's the one that really need it, as they find the first kill, but First Minion bring one right on back. Persian Papa able to find a kill, but Bathula able to find another one, traded right on back, not able to find the kill, but does just enough to create the space for Sugas to end up walking up, stroll up to that thing and grab it, as they only need 2 more kills. And with that overshield, I'd be very shocked if they weren't able to do it.
Very shocked. And another overshield in hand for the freaking win. I mean, what a powerful play the entire game from Sugas. We saw.
What I will say is I feel like First Minion, with that little extended break that they just had and these good spawns over here on A, may be in the correct spot. I don't know. I just have a feeling. I don't want to be the fun stopper. I don't want to be the party pooper here, but I just feel like for some reason they're going to be able to bring it back as they get themselves an early little bit of control, as those rockets are up. How many times do you see B captured so early with rockets?
Right?
Not even really close to being either team's way, but Persian Papa does find a couple of kills as they've advanced themselves pretty far up the map here, and they should be able to grab rockets, and I believe they do just that. First Minion off to a pretty dang good start as they have a 25-point lead with those rockets. Inept finding a couple of kills, one with the rockets, finds the second with the rockets, but JPD able to stay alive as he's the only one on his team left up, but he does have the B point as they are now scoring.
JPD this entire series has done such an impressive job at playing his life when he needs to. He's definitely someone that is going to give you such a runaround before you get that kill on him. And I love seeing the Sentinel Beam in the hand of a player, because if you use it right and you have the tracing, you're just going to use that hot dog weenie cooker and melt those shields off. And with the Sentinel Beam in hand, you're a little bit of an intimidating teammate. And we seem to kind of have the entire team of First Minion back A not really making any moves, and one player kind of playing on their own here, and JPD is just trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, and I mean, they've done a good job, and oh no, we don't have to play this for a third time, and you know, we pray for the stabilization of Halo, and we get to see a little bit different right here. Inept have two players going down right away, and that's a clean 4 dead. I really thought it'd be a little bit different for Inept this time, but one thing to note as well is I just slightly forgot, it is a full reset, so both teams have agreed to start at 0-0 instead of the scores that they had previously had. So we are still playing to 250. Both teams have to hit it, and I mean, not much really different, I guess, from what we had last game, did we?
Not much different. Right now, we're seeing at the very beginning of this game a 23-point lead, which I believe last time it was 25. And so right now we're seeing Inept, Taquito Joe with this Sentinel Beam in hand. We saw JP with it. So we're definitely seeing the utilization of the weapons around us. And with this hot dog weenie cooker, we're going to see it keep these enemies off of it, and a double kill out of Taquito Joe before he gets taken down. And now it's up to Mbathula, who's by himself at the moment, to try to keep the spawners of PD out of B, but he's being kind of smart, playing his life, knowing that Sugars is coming up right behind him, and they just have the ability to clean out this B hold here, and now the game is right back in their favor.
That was a 2v4 for them right there to be able to hold off on B, and not from the easy side to do it on either. That's not, you know, the easiest side to really go. You want A spawns on this map for a reason. It's because it's easier to hold B, and barely missing out on that stick, but Persian Papa able to get one, able to find the second, but ends up getting traded out by Sugars, and Jinjo left on his own with Sound Out Silence, who find the first, and Sound Out Silence with a double kill himself. Back and forth action as First Minion able to flip B just in time for those rockets to be up that they are able to escape with.
And rockets right now is just something that you can tell these teammates are kind of focusing on. Like you saw earlier, the instant rocket play, and now we have First Minion flipping this hold, and we have the A-B hold, and we have JP sighted out in top A, but that rocket just did barely enough damage to where it left him 1 HP in a dream, but that teammate was able to come behind him and sweep and mop after him. And now you see Cookie just trying to play this last rocket smart, put down that damage to get this B hold back, and you see them be able to take down 2 players in B, and just trying to cause trouble and be that nuisance player and keep them in C, which is going to now allow them to take a lead in this game.
Yeah, and that advanced positioning over here on this B side is what, you know, what makes it so hard to really push from C, and they have a nice little setup over here, and they should really try their best to push out onto this purple side, and it's only one player, it's Sugars, going for it, and he ends up getting taken down, and not the best coordination from Inept, maybe feeling the pressure a little bit on this map 5 as they now go 4 dead again. Sugars just spawning up, and First Minion making sure that there are no players spawning back A. They actually are very concerned that one did, and that might be a little bit of a problem for it. Allows Inept to get themselves back up the map a little bit as First Minion not aware that there actually was not anyone over there fighting ghosts over there, and that allows Inept to get themselves right back onto B.
Phasmophobia or Halo, I'm unsure. And JPD has picked up this stalker rifle. And one thing I love about this gun is that it gives you a certain amount of bullets before you have to vent. And so if you're in a fight with this stalker rifle, if you can dodge those bullets enough and those shots enough, you can allow that teammate to run out of options and you can take them down easily. But the stalker's still on the floor, bottom C, and we see Persian Papa get that punch in that guy's face, and we're securing C and holding C with the Bulldog ready to bark. And now we see Sound of Silence here with Shroud Shield and rockets. He's ready to open up the pit, pushing A for a possible triple cap, but being smart to kind of fall back and realize that now we have pressure on B, and that's where they need me.
And this is what we're talking about, right? They are doing a great job of reacting off these spawns, flying across the map, taking their 4v3s, 4v2s everywhere, and just not allowing Inept any opportunity to really get back into the game as they continue to find the kills. But finally, Inept able to stabilize a little bit as they get themselves towards A, and maybe a little bit of a mistake, as long as these players can clean it up over here. And tough little position for Sound of Silence to be. He has no BR to work with, just as you call it. What is it?
The hot dog weenie cooker.
Hot dog weenie cooker. I love it so much. But finally getting some things going. But A now starting to get flipped as well. First Minion reestablishing themselves over on this A side as Persian Papa finds another kill. That is 3 dead for Inept as one person has just spawned up. And the last 2 players are on B, getting themselves back to scoring. But a big lead now for First Minion to work with, as this is a big 1v1 over here.
A big 1v1 with a big boom block, but it doesn't quite seem to go into Persian Papa's favor. And now we see Cookie Middles possibly frozen in time back A, but right now Suga's playing for this C and trying to hold it. And we see this B hold here. We know where they're spawning. We know where they're coming from. And we do seem to have a crash. So as we seem to figure out what we are going to do next, please deal with it.
And finally, we're back. The ruling is we are going to continue from where these teams were at last. So First Minion only needs to score 93 points as Inept needs to score 144 as Inept, for this 3rd time, have won the break-off with Rockets, and they get that early control.
I mean, break off or break up, it doesn't matter. Something's going to happen this game. And I mean, Taquito Joe just playing this B hold, no one really at C, and it seems like one of our teammates is a little bit on the overextending side. Seems like they might have fallen back a little bit. I like what I'm seeing here, the Disruptor being picked up. The Disruptor is something that personally I love to play with, and I know a lot of people do too. And on a map like the Streets, you can utilize it on a lot of these weapon racks, or if you see a fallen weapon on the ground, you shoot the Disruptor with it and it shocks the enemies in the vicinity.
Yeah, it does. Pretty cool weapon, to be honest with you. And they do end up flipping B, so First Minion, as we know, only needs to get to 93 points. So not a lot of time left for Inept to really kind of fiddle around, mess around. They gotta kind of go, and they're not finding the kills right now, and they're staggering themselves. They need to wait until they're 4 up to be able to make a good push as First Minion. Otherwise, they're just going to be outnumbering them every single fight, and that's what it looks like at the moment. Taquito Joe just crosses without doing any damage to anybody into B, and he gets taken down. JPD finds a kill, but Cookie Middles finding the kill as well, as now M. Basula is 1 HP, and Bad Jinjo and Taquito Joe both up. It's a 1v1, but Taquito Joe works his way over towards A. That's going to stop First Minion from scoring, and that puts Inept right back into it.
Right back into it, and that's right. And right now we're right back into a fight over these rockets, which is coming up soon. And Suga's here pushing C, maybe trying to get that C back, but he was by himself and didn't quite check the corners or check behind him, and another teammate comes behind and backsmacks him. And we see Cookie Middles, the perfect hands for these rockets to land into. This player seems to be very, very, very comfortable with many different weapons in this game, and we see him now pushing back A, going for that C or for that A hole, just looking for the enemies, shooting a rocket at caution, and it doesn't quite seem to hit, but there was a little bit of damage, but his teammates aren't there to clean it up. And now with the rockets, he's ego challenging to B and does get 1 kill off on that hot dog weenie cooker, but does end up getting taken down.
Yeah, not a lot of time left. You see it. They only need, what is that, 40 points right here, a little bit less. And They have now flipped B with those good spawns of A. Even though Inept did cap A for a little bit, they were never really able to control that side and end up spawning there. And that's another 2 kills for them. Not a lot of time, only going to be 20 seconds left for Inept to make it happen and cap one of these points, whether it be A or B. And they're splitting up a little bit, but Taquito Joe does find the first, and Sugas is now over on A. That's going to force a couple of players back right here, and this is a big 1v1 right here. A big win if he's able to find it, but Taquito Joe not able to get the kill. Sugas gets taken down, JPD as well, and only 5 seconds remaining. Another big 1v1. It doesn't matter. They have to get over to it. They're able to do it. No, they're not able to get over there. That is the game. First Minion able to